I bet you if I was in Destiny's Orbiter Club, he would not message me about my feet, which would be a loss for him because they're gorgeous. What do you guys want me to say? I shouldn't have filmed you guys without your consent? What do you guys want me to say? I shouldn't have shared those with girls I was trying to bang? This is like EG After Dark right now. We're talking about sex and stuff. I've known Destiny's been a douchebag, but I never knew it was to this level.
EG lately standing for what's right.
All right, let's go check out the content nuke. I want to see this content nuke thing here from Ryan Beard.
I don't wish to bring anybody harassment that they've already received, but you have to understand that at this point, I'm kind of being pushed into playing my entire hand. There will be no vague allegations today. There will be no mentions of nukes, only mushroom clouds. I went with the title, Kethels, a case study on internet terrorism and mass media manipulation. This is going to be a cataloging the past year, demonstrations when communities fail to hold their own members responsible, and what comes of the belief that there are no bad tactics, only bad targets. This is going to be a careful documentation of lies. I'm not running around screen sharing people's nudes. I'm not having secret recordings in my apartment. Bro, I'll talk about anything all the time ever. Are we serious?
So then the question stands, did you Lauren Southern?
Scams. Every single person on the internet that is pushing NFTs is just trying to find a bigger sucker. You can basically buy and sell, or you can buy and sell like Twitch clips, and you can NFT that you can get autographed by the streamer. And you know what? If you buy it, I can go right up here and click autograph, and I can sign whatever NFT you want me to sign. Okay? Bullying.
Yeah, it was cute,
I
Jared.
literally just doxed that girl. The one that tried to throw egg on me like a week or two ago. I don't give a fuck about like doxing. And an utter lack of accountability.
Molina recently confirmed that the sex tapes leaked by Destiny's former
Jesus Christ.
girl were shared by Destiny without her
Nice,
consent.
good one, nice.
If she has no legal recourse.
I got a whole bunch of super chats for you. Wait, ready?
Okay.
Over the years, I've worried about the types of tactics endorsed by progressive communities. The uncomfortable distorted narratives.
I don't worry.
Honestly,
as long as you guys are having fun, I don't give a shit what you guys talk about.
It sounds really shitty, but like I think that Israel should just drop its borders about where it is now, and basically Palestinians can go live in another place. That's really shitty, but like that's about where I'm at. The grotesque shape-shifting of facts. Let's say there's a person that's like 30 years old and tries to like randomly sext like 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds. That wouldn't be. I don't think that would be considered grooming. The general inability to hold themselves to a decent standard of behavioral conduct.
That's pretty terrible.
Rioting needs to stop. And if that means like white redneck militia dudes out there mowing down dipshit protesters that think that they can torch buildings at 10 p.m., then at this point they have my blessing, because holy shit. It was the tale of an internet bully given far too much power. Did you guys know that if a bitch breaks up with you and you send her nudes to everybody, even that's wrong, guys? On a mission to seek fame and fortune.
So what's that look like revenue-wise? I think last time you said it was like $50K a month.
It's probably a little bit higher than that now. Yeah. By building a career through vicious conflict.
50K a month. 50K a month that this idiot's making. What am I doing wrong, guys? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Am I not stupid enough? Guys, we're about to get so much more freaking dumb on this channel. We're about to get freaking dumb. If I gotta lower my IQ by 30 to 40 points to get some progress on this channel so that I can make at least a quarter of what Destiny makes, I'm gonna do it. You best believe that. Except I will not, I repeat, will not share nudes of any of you guys. Except maybe DSB. I will share DSB's nudes because you gotta give the people what they want.
Yourself. Yes, yourself. We've allowed ourselves to gaze into the abyss for far too long. Destiny is the result.
On January 8th, 2025, the streamer Destiny's ex-wife Melina accused him of sharing pornographic videos of her without her consent to a 19-year-old young woman over Discord.
Something I can't, like I'm not gonna go into detail of anything, but there's plenty of people that's wondering this, but I feel like this should be obvious. Nothing has happened with consent with anyone, not me and not anyone else.
You know, and you know what the sad thing is? I bet you if you ask the majority of the internet, most of them are going to say that they've seen Melina naked, and that's not by her choice.
Like there's been no consent.
On January 21st, 2025, one of Destiny's close friends named Pixie accused him of also sharing pornographic videos of her without her consent. Destiny later revealed that this 19-year-old he had sent these pornographic videos to had allegedly been hacked, leading to these videos being leaked on the internet.
I think a friend of mine's account from that I talked to like 3 or 4 years ago ended up getting compromised, and you know, sometimes you just gotta roll with the memes. It is what it is. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Okay.
Later on,
sure, the Pixie don't feel that way.
That same day,
hey, you know, man, yeah. So everybody who's ever supported my channel, yeah, all those nudes you guys sent me, yeah, those all got leaked. I hate to break it to you, but you know what? Sometimes shit happens, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Of January 21st, one of Destiny's previous close friends named Cherry not only accused Destiny of sharing a recording of them having sex without her consent, but also of recording her without her knowledge. Destiny has since admitted to sharing these sex tapes of Pixie and Melina without their consent. Cherry's allegation is still just an allegation, but she has recently filed a police report against Destiny. This is the story of Stephen Bonnell II, a man given far too much power and the ways he has abused this power for his own personal gain. Hi, so this video has been a long time coming.
Hey, it's the guy from Beetlejuice, the dad, right? You guys remember the dad from Beetlejuice? Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Okay, I believe you. Yeah. What do you guys want me to say? I shouldn't have filmed you guys without your consent? What do you guys want me to say? I shouldn't have shared those with girls I was trying to bang? But listen, I'm a guy who fucks. Not that President Sunday would understand that, but as a guy who fucks, I needs to get my fuck on. You know what I'm saying?
I've been slowly collecting evidence about this man Destiny here for about 3 years now, and I don't know about you, but I think it's finally time to take this motherfucker down. Destiny is widely hated.
Okay, so this is gonna be more. Tell me he does not look like the dad, though, from Beetlejuice and the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I'm excited for this. So 3 years of research this guy's done.
Communities across the internet for a variety of reasons. But no matter how hated Destiny became, he always had a strong army of sycophants that would defend him no matter what he did. However,
she's going to be way
almost
bigger
all of
than
his
me.
orbiters have abandoned him.
She's so
Orbiters are
talented.
what he calls his friends who stream with him. Basically, the implication is that Destiny is this massive planet, and all of his friends are these little planets that orbit around him. This has created an ecosystem where most of Destiny's friends rely on Destiny's success for fame and money. And because most of these people rely on Destiny for money, they've done a remarkably good job at sweeping allegations against Destiny under the rug for years. However, these recent allegations against Destiny have been so egregious that the majority of even his most loyal orbiters have decided to leave his orbit. Now, barely anyone is still defending Destiny. One person who is still defending Destiny is Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit, who recently decided to slut-shame Destiny's victims.
Where I go, I feel extremely violated with how so many people saw me non-consensually in a vulnerable position. I feel like people are always going to use this as proof that I slept my way to whatever achievement I garner. I feel like it's evidence that everything would be better with me gone. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Prixie, but you did sleep your way to the top. You know, you gotta call a spade here.
Even though Myron is—
It sucks what's happening to Pixie, but it makes you wonder, had she rejected Destiny's advances, would she have gotten as far in his orbit as she did? It's a fair question to ask. I don't know where this guy's suggesting that he's defending Destiny. It sounds like he's just explaining the truth about Pixie and like what the reality that most men would look at that and women would think.
Is an absolutely insane anti-Semitic woman hater who stands for everything that Destiny claims to be against. Destiny says that he has more respect for Myron than for anyone else on the internet.
In all of my years, God, this feels so shitty. In all my years doing content, I have more respect for Myron than any other individual.
Apparently, the amount of respect that Destiny has for you as a person is dependent on how willing you are to suck up to him.
He is the only person that I have seen that will consistently go in areas where there's so much like laughing and jokes and fun times we had right here if he was shit on me, but he doesn't. He won't do it.
I have some level of empathy for Destiny's orbiters because it is difficult to be stuck in a position where you financially rely on someone who is not a great person, but I have basically no empathy for Destiny because I believe that Destiny is a massive piece of shit, and I will hopefully demonstrate why I feel that way in this video. In this video, I will go through nearly every harmful action that Destiny has committed over the years and then allow you to come to your own conclusions on whether or not you think this is a person who deserves anyone's admiration or respect. Before we jump into Destiny's actions from across the years, I think I should take a little bit of time to dispel some possible well poisoning that Destiny or his community DGG could try to attack me with. The first accusation they might throw at me is that I'm obsessed with Destiny. This is an accusation they like to throw at anyone who criticizes Destiny. Personally, I don't think it makes me obsessed with Destiny that I've been researching him for the purpose of criticizing him.
Bro, you obsessed. It's like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Bro, you so obsessed with the stars, man. You obsessed with space, bro. Why you so obsessed with looking up when you should be looking forward?
One of Destiny's fans accused me of being obsessed with Sneeko when I did a deep dive into Sneeko's harmful actions because they don't like Sneeko. But they probably will accuse me of being obsessed with Destiny because Destiny is their daddy. This is the first video I've ever made about Destiny, and it'll probably be about an hour and a half long.
He's coming out swinging, guys. He's coming out swinging.
Compare that to the probably hundreds of hours that Destiny has spent on his stream criticizing Hassan. And I have nothing against Destiny criticizing Hassan. It would just be pretty hypocritical to accuse me of being obsessed with Destiny for making 1 hour and a half long video about him while Destiny has talked about Hassan for hundreds of hours.
Good. Good. I'm glad we got that out of the way.
Destiny has written multiple incredibly long manifestos criticizing creators like Vosh, Keffels, and Bob7, who Destiny believes have wronged him over the years. Although I find the label of
You know who was not in those videos? Me. You want to know why? Because he don't want this smoke, guys. Destiny don't want this smoke.
manifesto a bit cringe. I see nothing inherently wrong with Destiny writing manifestos to chronicle the bad behaviors of these creators. So in the same way, I guess this will be my manifesto against Destiny. And if you have an issue with me making this manifesto, I hope you will stay logically consistent and also criticize Destiny for making manifestos about Vosh.
Yeah, I like this guy too so far. He's coming out swinging. We can look past the fact that he looks like the father from Beetlejuice.
Keffels and Bob7. If I had to predict how Destiny himself would respond to this video, he would probably respond with something similar to this tweet that he tweeted at me a couple years ago. You're hopping into a bandwagon of people accusing me of being a rape apologist because you're still upset that I bullied you off the internet a year ago. Don't play stupid. You know exactly what you're doing. To be honest, Destiny isn't 100% wrong here. I am jumping onto a bandwagon of people criticizing him, but I don't think that's an inherently bad thing to do. Destiny jumps onto bandwagons of people criticizing Hassan.
Is he blonde or is he redheaded? He kind of looks like a redhead.
Hassan all the time. When Ethan Klein makes videos attacking Hassan, Destiny jumps onto the bandwagon. So when a bunch of people on the internet are criticizing Destiny right now for sharing women's sex tapes without their consent, hell yeah, I'm gonna jump onto the bandwagon and roast the shit out of him. With
Yeah,
the way
get
the
some,
internet
bro.
works,
Get some.
criticisms against someone are more likely to stick when
Listen, what's the internet for if we can't laugh at people who make dumb mistakes? That's what we're here for, right? We're literally the nicest community, us and K-Hux community, the nicest community on the internet. And even us, we can't help it but make fun of some people.
when that person is actively engaged in a controversy. This is just how the internet is. So yes, I waited to make this video until
Dark
you were in
blonde?
a possibly career-ending
You might be
controversy
right.
because I knew that this would make more people listen to my criticism against you. Do you have a problem with that? You know how the internet works, Destiny. You jump onto bandwagons of criticizing people who are in controversy.
What's the verdict, though? Does this guy fuck? 1 in the chat if this guy fucks. 2 in the chat if this guy does not fuck.
Controversies all the time. But now that the shoe's on the other foot, you're mad about it.
All the other shit from all the other vultures and all the other communities that are like coming in trying to like make drama out of this, that don't give a fuck about any victims or any people involved, which is the majority of people. Don't give a fuck about any of that. I don't care about that.
Another accusation that Destiny's fans like to throw at people who criticize him is
I think this guy fucks. I think this guy fucks, man. He gives that I don't fuck face, but he definitely, he 100% fucks. D Crew says he used to fuck. He don't fuck. His fucking days are behind him. He's a retired fucker.
is that they're just doing it for money. Oh, you mean like how Destiny has made money from covering other people's controversies for years? What a dog shit argument. Yes, I'm gonna make money from this video because this
All
is
right,
my
Jay,
job.
you got a long-term girlfriend? Here, he fucks. All right, he fucks.
It's like Destiny makes money from criticizing other people because that's his job. But this video isn't just about making money for me. I genuinely care about raising awareness for the shitty stuff that Destiny has done. If you're gonna write a manifesto about Keffels and say that she needs to be held responsible for her actions,
Demonstration of what happens when communities fail to hold their own members responsible.
I'm gonna do the same thing to you, motherfucker. Now let's focus
Oh,
on
he
this part of the
fucks. It's official, guys. This guy fucks. It's confirmed. He fucks. You're hopping into a bandwagon of people accusing me of being a grape apologist because you're still upset I bullied you off the internet a year ago. You don't play stupid. You know exactly what you're doing. Oh my God. I really wish Destiny would box me. Box me so hard, Destiny.
tweet. You're still upset that I bullied you off the internet a year ago. You know what, Destiny? You are not totally
Make him
wrong.
box
Being
this
bullied
guy.
off the internet didn't feel particularly good because people don't tend to enjoy being bullied. Destiny and his community definitely have bullied me over the years, but I don't really care to relitigate my personal beef with Destiny. Destiny and his community weren't very nice to the suit-wearing fatty. Who gives a fuck? But Destiny, you don't get to criticize Keffels for being a bully
Internet bullying.
and then turn around and take pride in the fact that you're a bully. That is called hypocrisy. The fact that Destiny and his community have bullied me
Fair.
in the past probably is a factor in why I chose to make this video. And I would argue that the treatment that Destiny received from creators like Vosh and Keffels is one of the reasons he made manifestos against them. As much as I might want to, I am a human being and I can't fully separate myself from my own personal and the fact that I have been bullied by
He'd be your
Destiny
dance
and his
partner.
community in the past does probably make me somewhat biased against them. If you feel like my personal bias against Destiny means that I'm not the right person to make this video, I respect that opinion and I encourage you to go watch a different YouTube video. But in this video, I'm going to try my absolute best to be as unbiased as possible and stick to the facts as much as possible. I am going to try my best to not view Destiny in bad faith because I think even if you view him in good faith, he's still a piece of shit. I do feel like one of Destiny's tactics
so
from across the
fucks.
years is to be
This guy
incredibly
definitely
mean
fucks.
to anyone he has a conflict with. So when that person eventually decides to make a video criticizing him, he can just write that person off as obsessive and just mad because he bullied them.
As a supporter of yours, I'd appreciate if you addressed some of the points made in the Britney video. She seemed to be pretty fair, especially in her conclusions. I don't have time to address every deranged, obsessive video that's made about me. I still haven't watched the Britney video.
Just add this tactic to the long list of tactics that Destiny and his community use to deflect deflect criticism from themselves. The last criticism that Destiny and his community might make against this video is that I'm bringing up a bunch of old news that Destiny has already addressed. While that might be the case for some of the things I talk about in this video is not.
So is that what I'm missing? Am I missing a suit, guys? Do I need to put a suit on? That what'll make you happy? It's not just locks, it's the suit that I need to bust out.
Being made for Destiny's community. I'm making this video for the broader internet, and the majority of the broader internet doesn't know about all of these past controversies that you might consider old news. Contrary to what you guys might believe, the entire world does not orbit around Destiny. If Destiny is going to be interviewing potential presidential candidates like Marianne Williamson, then I think the broader political community deserves to know about Destiny's past actions. Destiny has said before that he has nothing to hide, and people can't.
The name's fucks. Guy fucks.
Expose him for anything that he's done in the past because he's open about everything he's done in his life. When someone else was trying to expose Destiny for his bad behavior, he sent these messages to his chat. So if he wants to expose me, that's fine. Let him expose. But he needs to post receipts instead of just vaguely alluding to shit. There's literally nothing anyone could have on me.
That's it. I'm wearing a suit next stream. You guys asked for it. When we talk about modern Paul, I'm wearing a suit.
Or anything because I don't do anything bad/weird. I am the cleanest motherfucker in this entire scene. The worst anyone could ever have on me is fucking dick pics or something. He can talk about whatever he wants, but he should provide proof, not just baseless accusations.
I will. That's it. I'm either going full Jesus or I'm going full tuxedo. It's gonna be a flip of the coin. Nobody knows for sure.
Speculation. All right, Destiny. In this video, I will provide plenty of proof and receipts to back up everything that I accuse you of. If what you said in these messages is true, then you should have absolutely no issue with me lying out everything that you've done over the years on the table. Are we on the same page? Great. Honestly, I feel like the fact that I feel the need to lay out all these preambles and pretext and shoot down possible criticisms before they make them should show you that Destiny's community have become masters at deflecting criticism against them. You can call these motherfuckers Bert from Mary Poppins in the way that they're masters at sweeping. The joke here is that Bert from Mary Poppins is a—
This guy's got everybody all rowdy in the chat.
Chimney sweep. It's a funny joke, okay? Fuck off. My goal in this video is not to push some sort of political agenda against Destiny. We're gonna cover I actually think he is a very smart dude who's one of the best debaters on the internet and one of the best people at using logic to defend liberal values. I debated Destiny a couple times a few years ago, and he definitely wiped the floor with me, especially in our second debate. I have no shame in admitting that. Destiny is definitely a better debater than I am. Even if I disagree with a lot of his opinions because I'm a leftist, I can still recognize that he's done a great job dunking on a bunch of dumbass conservatives.
No,
but like Destiny said,
no birthday suit.
In his manifesto against Keffels, I don't think we should be afraid to hold members of our own community accountable.
Demonstration of what happens when communities fail to hold their own members.
Oh man, this guy's a liberal. He was so close. He was so close to being perfect. Now I have to take back everything I've said. This guy doesn't fuck. He never fucked. He never fucked.
And Destiny has done a lot of fucked up shit that I think he needs to be held accountable for. Just because he's a good debater who's really good at defending the liberal ideology, I don't think that means that we should sweep his bad behavior under the rug.
And I don't understand how Steven can really say that he wants to be a serious political advocate if he doesn't want to manage his personal life in any way that's serious. Like, why should the DNC involve you in anything that they want when your personal life looks like a fucking train wreck that's going to be bad PR for all of them? Why should anyone want to spend time debating you on these bigger platforms if all you're going to do is bring fucking tarnishing their reputation, right? It's like, if you're serious about this, you should make this sacrifice. And if you can't, then I don't think you really care about the political positions that you claim to care about.
My goal in this video is to simply lay out all of his actions from across the years that I consider harmful and allow you to come to your own conclusions. All right? Let's get into it. In this video, I hope to establish a pattern of how Destiny over the course of his career has repeatedly taken advantage of and harmed women and occasionally children, and how he has advocated for a world that makes it easier for people like him to harm women and children. We'll start by going through Destiny's harmful behavior towards women, then we'll take a detour to his harmful behavior towards children, and then we'll loop back around to his harmful behavior towards women again. Sound good? Well, it's not going to be.
You know why? He doesn't harm men because he can't, because he's weak.
Around the end of 2011, Destiny sexually assaulted a woman on his live stream. I'm not using the word allegedly here because we have video of him doing it, and he has openly admitted that it was sexual assault.
I would say that in my streaming career in the past, like totally publicly, like I completely and totally like assaulted a girl on stream before for like fucking 5 minutes or whatever. I got super fucking drunk and was like grabbing her fucking breast the entire time.
Later, Destiny has attempted to downplay his actions here by tweeting, "I was drunk off my ass literally for the first time in my life." And he said that at the time he didn't understand how bad it was, but now looking back years later, he understands that it was reprehensible behavior.
And at the time I figured like, oh, well, you know, we're gonna fuck anyway, like it doesn't matter, like she's chill or whatever, like I'm drunk, it doesn't matter. Like at the time I'm thinking like, you know, oh, it's not a big deal, but like looking back I'm like, okay, wait, this is like really, really, really reprehensible behavior.
But if you go back and watch the clip, immediately after assaulting her, he says, "Listen, I'm gonna apologize to you so much tomorrow."
Listen, I'm gonna apologize to you so much tomorrow.
Why would you need to apologize to her tomorrow, Destiny? Is it maybe because you understood that what you were doing was wrong? To me, this shows that even in his incredibly drunk state, he knew that what he was doing is wrong. And obviously, being drunk does not absolve you of your actions. Otherwise, we wouldn't criminalize drunk driving.
You come here to this stream to defend drunk drivers to me.
This is a common tactic with Destiny where he'll half take accountability for something, but half try to downplay it by saying,
do that,
I was so
J-Cells. Now
drunk
I'm
at
never
the
gonna
time.
not
I
see
didn't
that."
understand how bad it was at the time. But I'm calling bullshit. You understood that what you were doing was bad, even back when you did it, because you were an adult, not a baby. According to this woman, Destiny has never directly apologized to her, even though she would like him to. She acknowledges that he has indirectly apologized on his stream, but my question is, did he apologize on his stream to save his reputation, or did he apologize because he was genuinely remorseful? I will allow you to answer that question for yourself as we go through more of Destiny's pattern of behavior from over the years.
I'm gonna probably spoil this, but my guess is he's not genuinely remorseful. He's just sorry he got caught, and she didn't want it. She didn't like reciprocate it, and shared that she was uncomfortable.
In 2012, Destiny shared private nudes of a woman he had been sexting named Blue Tea with his friends. Destiny will often claim that the reason for his actions
I wouldn't
was because
expect anything
he was
less of
provoked
you
into
guys,
doing
Blue
them.
Jay.
He had no other choice.
I'm kind of being pushed into playing my entire hand.
But here, there was no provocation. He just thought it would be funny to share this woman's private nudes with his friends and joke about how fucking hideous her face is compared to her beautiful body. And he also insulted her because he thought she looked like Shrek. So he shared a woman's private nudes without consent for the purpose of degrading her. In response, Blue Tea hacked Destiny's Twitter and tweeted out pictures of his dick. Obviously, I condemn this woman's actions. She posted revenge porn of Destiny, which is never justified. But don't forget that the situation that provoked this was Destiny maliciously sharing her nudes without her consent. On Reddit, Destiny replied to her by saying, "I can't imagine how you can think that people will never ever ever talk about anything personal or private amongst their friends. Maybe I'm just stupid, but I can't see myself caring at all if you shared pictures between your close friends, especially given the fact that I never see any of them in real life." So in this comment, Destiny is admitting that he did send the nudes without consent and is attempting to downplay his actions. A couple years later, when one of Destiny's friends named Bob7 allegedly shared a woman's nudes without her consent, Destiny said that this should be life-destroying.
Bob7 shared nude photographs of multiple
He's super based, but I think we can all agree he no longer fucks.
women after pressuring one to post one without their consent. But I do believe that these
Sport
are
coat and
relatively
t-shirt.
life-destroying revelations.
I got
But
you.
when Destiny does it, he justifies it by saying that he wouldn't care if someone did it to him. This is known as the personal preference fallacy, arguing that something isn't wrong simply because you wouldn't care if it was personally done to you. Even if Destiny wouldn't care if someone shared his nudes, which I doubt, that doesn't make it okay for him to do it to someone else. And a couple years later, Destiny demonstrates that he knows that sharing nudes is wrong by laughing at this clip of someone explaining how it's wrong.
The guy sent the nudes to like his buddy, and the buddy sent it to the other buddy, and it just went like the whole school had her nudes.
Wow.
Right?
That's cray.
That in and of itself is another example of like violating consent. That even though, you know, for so long we were trained to be like, oh, consent has to do with like, you know, like sex.
Cold in
Did you guys know that if a bitch breaks up with you and you send her nudes to everybody, even that's wrong, guys?
Him laughing like this is him sarcastically showing that he obviously understands it's wrong. So I think even back when Destiny did this, he understood that it was wrong. He's just pretending like he didn't understand that it was wrong to avoid taking accountability for his actions. Destiny has a long history of really not liking when women post about their negative sexual experiences online. Real talk, opening up about quote-unquote your rape and shit on Twitter is incredibly fucking weird and should never have been normalized. I have no idea why the fuck people encourage others to trauma dump on social media. It's insanely unhealthy. This was in response to a woman sharing an allegation about how she was stealthed. She was allegedly having sex with a man. She had established the boundary beforehand that he needed to wear a condom during sex, but in the middle of sex, he removed the condom, which is a form of rape.
Yeah, it's not cool. Not cool to do that. I don't really know what else to say. If you're getting lucky enough to be allowed entry with stipulation, just stick with it, you know? Stick with it.
I agree with Destiny that sometimes trauma dumping on social media can be unhealthy, but sharing allegations on social media obviously has the possible benefit of holding people accountable for their actions. And putting the words "your rape" in quotation marks obviously implies that he's casting some level of doubt onto her story. It's one thing to wait to see evidence before you fully believe someone's story that they post on social media.
He's so pasty that he's almost see-through. I'm starting to feel bad because he does have good information here, and we just can't stop ripping on him about looking like the dad from Beetlejuice.
It's another thing to instantly cast doubt on their story just because you're annoyed that they decided to post about it on social media. Because Destiny had retweeted someone who tweeted, "If you knew he took off the condom and you couldn't even bring yourself to say anything, you shouldn't be having casual sex." A bunch of people got mad at Destiny for retweeting this, so then he tweeted, "If you are noticing someone is taking a condom off and you can't say anything, you probably don't have the emotional maturity to engage in sex. You should probably just grab a caretaker or something and stick to masturbating to furry porn. Sorry." People got even more mad mad at this tweet, so then he tweeted, "Sorry, I want to apologize for my last tweet. You should treat every single woman you come across like a retarded child who's incapable of voicing an opinion about literally anything. Ideally, you would bring her dad along to every fuck so he can guide her through the process." First of all, she did clearly assert her boundaries before sex. She just struggled to reassert her boundaries when this man started raping her because this made her so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't know where you would be in that situation, but as a guy, it's your job to not be a total scumbag. But, you know, things happen. People are drunk, make dumb mistakes. I can never consent to thinking that that's a good move. You know, that's a boundary that needs to be established well before any of that shit even happens. But with that said, I wasn't there, which would be really weird if I was, though. If I was really weird, and I'd be like, wait, why are you taking that off? I thought you told her, you know. Are you okay with this? You need me to step in and say something for you?
I agree that if you struggle to reassert your boundaries during sex, this could make it more likely that you would end up being harmed during sex. And we should obviously encourage people to assert their boundaries during sex as much as they possibly can. But rather than show empathy for women who struggle to tell men to stop because they're so terrified while they're being raped, Destiny decides to insult these women's emotional maturity and call them retarded children. According to a neuroscience article in the journal Nature Human Behavior, victims frequently report immobility during rape and sexual assault, often using the term freezing. Neuroscientific evidence suggests fear and threat can block cortical neural circuits for action control.
Yeah, how many times have you seen a movie where the guy threatens to kill the girl if she doesn't finish, you know? Like, I can understand why that would scare a girl. But the issue with the whole great thing is that men do it for power, and it's not even hardly a sexual thing. It's like a power move. A lot of times the girl is just worried about making sure she doesn't die in that situation, you know?
Leading to involuntary immobility. And this sort of immobility can manifest as physical immobility or verbal immobility. A 2017 Scandinavian study reported that 70% of the 298 women who had visited an emergency clinic within a month of experiencing sexual violence had experienced significant tonic immobility or paralysis when it happened. So when women struggle to reassert their boundaries while they're being raped, this isn't because they're children with no emotional maturity. There are actual neurological reasons for this behavior.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, if the woman freezes up and doesn't say anything, how's the guy supposed to know? Not counting the obvious cases where this should not take place. She's established that she's not interested, and the guy continues, and then she freezes up. That's a different story. But say it's like a situation where you're in the middle of the act, the thing slips off, and then the girl freezes up, but then she turns around later and it says it's great. That's where I feel like a lot of times these things get really sticky and gross, you know? And really confusing. It's pretty easy to remove a condom without the other party noticing. Yeah, I've had intimate relationships before where I'm in the middle of it, and then next thing you know, it's off. And you don't even realize it because you're in the heat of the moment, but it's in your partner and they don't know. But if you purposely take it off, that's gross. Yeah, I'm not trying to by any means validate what is being said here. I'm just simply saying from the man's perspective, if a woman freezes up, a lot of times, as far as he knows, it's still business as usual. It's very important for women to advocate when they're uncomfortable, regardless of it's scary, because a lot of times the guy can be in just as awkward of a situation. Like if you ever had one night stands, they're very weird. They're very awkward. They are very awkward. This is like EG After Dark right now. We're talking about sex and stuff.
When the streamer Hans of Hark here brings back that these women could be having a freeze response when they experience stealthing, Destiny disregards this and says that a victim couldn't possibly have a freeze response just from seeing a man take his condom off.
Freeze up is some shit where you're like in a fucking traumatic situation and somebody's doing some crazy shit. Not like you look down and you see some asshole is trying to slip a condom off. Like, oh, I'm frozen out. I can't fucking think. I don't take the condom off. I'm fucking completely frozen. Bro, what the fuck kind of 14-year-olds are you fucking? Are you serious?
But according to a 2010 study titled Facing Freeze, Social Threat Induced Bodily Freeze in Humans, even negative social interactions can trigger a psychological freeze response in some people. The more fear someone is experiencing, the more likely they are to have a freeze response, but even a moderate amount of fear can still induce a psychological freeze response. And seeing someone non-consensually removing their condom during sex after you've established that they need to wear a condom absolutely could cause enough fear to induce a freeze response. The way that Destiny chooses to mock these women who claim that they do have a freeze response while being stealthed is just really fucking gross. I don't know what else to say.
Oh, I'm frozen out. I can't fucking think. I don't take the condom off. I'm fucking completely frozen.
I think this is from the person who is the retarded child. They said, I've actually been raped, and saying no just made him rape me harder. I know that's what happened after he pulled out. It's not incomprehensible that I would just walk away from the situation.
It sounds like she needs to stop having casual sex.
To be clear, I don't think that Destiny is saying it's okay to stealth people, but I do think he is choosing to mock women for something that is outside of their control. Obviously, women do have some level of control over reasserting their boundaries during sex, and we should always encourage people to assert their boundaries as much as possible, but
yeah, I thought babies came from storks as well. Is that not the case anymore? Are the storks out of business? Like they don't show up with the baby? How does a stork fly with the baby in its mouth too? That's got to be a lot of pressure on the neck. A baby could be like 7 to 9 pounds. That's a lot of weight on a bird's neck.
But if someone is struggling to reassert their boundaries because of a freeze response when someone is raping them, maybe we shouldn't call them retarded children. After this controversy, the absolutely brilliant trans activist known as Keffels decided to make a false allegation against Destiny. She claimed that Destiny himself had stealthed a woman.
Oh yeah, meanwhile he stealths people, which is legitimately a form of rape. Insane.
As far as we know, this is totally untrue. Destiny himself has not stealthed a woman. He was just a massive asshole to a woman who was.
As far as we know. What if all of a sudden it comes back around that Keffels has been right this whole fucking time? Tipster just takes another W.
Stealthed. To give Keffels credit, she did acknowledge soon after this that she was wrong and Destiny actually didn't stealth anyone.
Wait, I don't know if he did it. Wait, backing up, I don't actually know if he did it.
But Keffels, maybe consider trying to be really sure before you make these types of allegations against people. Destiny is correct that spreading false allegations like this absolutely does undermine the cause of the left. Making this false allegation against Destiny allowed him to shift his focus onto your false allegation instead of focusing on the fact that he was a massive asshole to this woman who was stealthed.
I feel like that right there sums up so much of how Destiny's been able to have a career for so long. I really do. This is a perfect example. The fact that people throw such crazy allegations at Destiny is how he's been able to avoid taking responsibility for almost anything he's done.
Unfortunately, many of the people who have tried to take down Destiny shed. Speaking of tools in the shed, let's talk about the time that Destiny tweeted that he hopes a woman is raped to death with a shovel. In 2015, the porn star Stoya tweeted allegations that the male porn star James Dean had raped her. This tweet really upset Destiny because, as we've established, he really does not like it when women talk about their negative sexual experiences online. Jesus, why not file a fucking police report instead of tweeting this? You're fucking disgusting. What a fucking idiot at Stoya. Stephen Mel, why don't you write us a long list of everything you feel a survivor of rape should do? Then I'll use it to wipe my ass. Survivor of rape. It's rape, not murder, not beheading, not a fatal car crash. Everyone survives rape. Get over yourself. Survivor of rape here. Hello. Want to talk about how hard it is to go on every day? Kill yourself so you don't have to live with the pain. So rape survivors should just get over it because at least they didn't die. And if they're dealing with a lot of pain or trauma because of their rape, they should just kill themselves because if they kill themselves, the pain will stop.
So far, I just feel like this is a lot of Destiny just being a provocateur and being an edgelord. Right now, I haven't really heard anything. This is all just stuff you expect Destiny to say. We've all known that he's a piece of shit. This is all just, I'm getting a real, I'm a friend of feminism type of vibes right now from this guy. But there's got to be something better. There's got to be something better.
Very cool, Steven. I have no idea why anyone has ever accused you of being a rape apologist. This should go without saying, but obviously survivors to file police reports to hold rapists accountable, but police reports don't always lead to rapists being held accountable.
I want to be very clear. I think what Destiny's saying is obviously reprehensible, but at the same time, most people know that Destiny says this dumb type of shit. This is not a shock. It's like trying to walk up to a homeless man and be like, go find a home. Why don't you just buy a home? It's not that easy. The guy stuck in his ways of saying the most horrendous things he can.
For their actions, which is why sometimes it's good to post about it on social media. At least Destiny will be happy that the woman he allegedly recorded while they were having sex without her knowledge did file a police report against Destiny. Good job, Cherry. You have done things in the Destiny-approved way. Right after this, Destiny got into an argument with another woman about how James Dean didn't respect Stoya's safe word. As Stephen Bennell, ignoring a safe word and not stopping when someone asks is ignoring consent and is rape. Go fuck yourself. Kill yourself, you fucking c***. I hope you get raped with a fucking shovel until you bleed out your fucking vag and die. Holy. This right here is probably the most violent, vitriolic—
Oh my god, dude. That was even a lot for me. I can never imagine saying that to someone in good faith. In good faith. I could never imagine saying that to someone, period, let alone in good faith.
Language that I have ever seen Destiny use in his entire career on the internet. And it just so happens
this part is kind of slow because it's like, oh yeah, Destiny says shocking shit. Like none of us knew that. That's half the reason people watch him, because they don't know what the fuck this idiot's gonna say next.
To women talking about their negative sexual experiences. My question after seeing all of this is, why does Destiny have such an intense hatred for women talking about their negative sexual experiences on the internet? Is it because he just cares so much about these women and he doesn't want them to harm their own mental health because trauma dumping on the internet can be really damaging for them? Or is it maybe because a culture where women feel comfortable coming forth with allegations on the internet can lead to women like Pixie and Cherry and Melina coming forth with allegations against people like Destiny, exposing them for being massive pieces of shit?
Fair.
I will again allow you to answer that question for yourself.
Correct.
We'll get back to Destiny treating women like shit a little bit later on, but now let's pivot to Destiny harming children. For some strange reason, a lot of people like to label Destiny here a pedophile. So in the next section, we'll get to the bottom of whether or not Mr. Bonnell here really is a certified EDP 445. Is Destiny really a pedo, or are these just false, slanderous allegations meant to try to dethrone the debate bro king? Let's find out.
I think the whole reason he says this stuff is just for a reaction. I honestly think that he wishes he was like a Chad, like a real Chad. like a real alpha male. But since he's not, he's got to be like the beta toy boy obsessive simp type guy who will hump a couch if you give him the opportunity to.
In 2012, when Destiny was 23, he shared in a group chat with a couple of his friends the messages, "You want to see the sickest shit in the world? So many fangirls. I had one that was 15. She wanted to meet and hook up. Dude, she's 15. What the fuck? But she sent me pictures that made it so hard to say no." Then
Oh, yeah, that's fucking disgusting, dude. And who the hell are you saying this to? And why have you, as that person, never said anything? That is terrible. That is fucking terrible. That's gross, dude.
Destiny linked a picture of this girl in a bikini in the chat and said, "Girl on the left, so hard to say no. Gonna get arrested one of these MLGs, man." So in these logs, when Destiny was 23, he said that it was really hard to turn down hooking up with this 15-year-old because she looked so good in this picture of her in a bikini. He then shared this lewd image of a child with his friends and said that he's gonna get arrested someday. Well, like I said, a woman just filed a police report against Destiny, so we'll just have to wait and see if his prediction comes true.
Here's the crazy thing, too. Imagine all the shit that we don't know about this fucking dude. Imagine all the stuff we don't know. I guarantee it's a lot more than we expect. If I had to bet on my life whether or not Destiny has slept with an underage girl, I'd probably bet my life on yes, he has. And then if I was struck dead, I'd be shocked. Again, I have no proof of that. It just feels, if we know this much about him, imagine all the things we don't know about him, you know?
A couple years later in 2015, when Destiny was 26, he shared in his chat, "What the fuck? There's no way that chick is 15.
I don't think that anybody in here is impressed by Destiny. I think at this point, we're just looking for any type of resemblance to any moral value at all. I think that we're all just sitting here waiting to see if there's any redeeming quality about this guy at all.
So now we've seen two separate occasions where Destiny says that he's attracted to 15-year-olds. Ironically, this conversation where he's sharing a picture of a 15-year-old in a bikini with his friends is the exact same conversation where he also shared that other woman's nudes without her consent. Sharing non-consensual nudes and sharing a picture of a child in a bikini in one conversation? What a certified Destiny moment. This is what we in the business call a Diddy-stiny party. A common defense that Destiny fans will—
Yeah, you know why he does this to girls too? It's because he knows he can't do it to men. Push comes to shove, if Destiny talked like this to a guy, he'd probably get knocked out. But he does it to a girl, like, I guess maybe he feels like in some way or another he could still physically hold his own. But you realize that he doesn't say this crap to any man. And if he does, he would never say it in person.
When he says that he wants to have sex with children is that he's just joking. For example, these tweets where he says, "You were hot at 10? Any pics? Check DMs. Jesus, I've never wanted to bend someone over the hood of their little tyke so bad." I do think these tweets are jokes, very strange jokes, but I don't think that him saying he wanted to hook up with this 15-year-old was a joke.
Joking, let's be realistic. When a lot of people joke about things, there is usually a hint of truth in some of these jokes.
You know,
he's definitely afraid. He's so afraid of alpha males. That's why he hates conservative men. Because most of us are God-fearing men who respect our mamas, protect our sisters, and will fight for our wives. But Destiny, he's got to do the whole... I feel like he pep talks himself before a stream to try to convince himself that he's a Chad. You will never be a Chad. All right, Destiny? You'll never be a Chad. You will never have what I have when it comes to biceps and... Never mind.
Pictures of kids in bikinis and say how hot you find them as a joke. And to help prove that this wasn't a joke, here are some clips of Destiny doubling down on his attraction to this 15-year-old in a debate with someone named Mr. Medicare.
Of this chat log, I was talking with a bunch of other esports guys, and we were basically talking about how crazy the fucking jailbait is in the gaming communities. It's ridiculous. I think I said something along the lines of like, there are 15-year-old chicks that are like hot as fuck that will like try to send you pictures to like fuck you at events and shit, and it's like, you have to be really careful when you navigate that.
So what is the admitting to jerking off to 15-year-olds then? What is that in relation to?
I never admitted to jerking off. I think I just said like this, I think the log is something like this 15-year-old chick was trying to send me, or was sending me pictures of herself and she was hot as fuck. It's like really hard to like turn down some of these people. I think
Wait, how old was she?
She said she was 15.
So you did get pictures from a 15-year-old?
Not nudes though. Sorry, I should specify. I think a couple pics of her like at the beach or some shit, but
in swimwear?
Yeah.
So you're getting swimwear pics from 15-year-olds?
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. This shit is fucking crazy. Shit is fuck.
So in these clips, he says that some 15...
I'm just gonna be very clear. If that ever happened to me, I block him and never speak to him again. Basically, what it comes down to, I would just never, aside from the fact that I'm engaged, I just can't wrap my head around ever being in a situation like that, let alone telling the internet. Come on.
15-year-olds are hot as fuck, and he admits to sharing a picture of this 15-year-old in a bikini to his friends. So is Destiny a pedophile? Well, he admitted that he finds some 15-year-olds hot as fuck.
Wait, you know this. He's sucked off a man before. He's gone down on men. He hasn't just hooked up with men. He's gone down on them. He's recorded it and talked about it.
Fuck, and he sent his friends a picture of a 15-year-old in a bikini because he found her so attractive. A lot of arguments with Destiny about pedophilia end up getting wrapped up in semantic debates about labels instead of focusing on the facts of the matter. If you call Destiny a pedo for being attracted to a 15-year-old, he'll launch into a tirade about how, pedophilia is the attraction to prepubescent children and 15-year-olds are post-pubescent. So therefore, by calling me a pedo, you have slandered me. So then you go, okay, I guess you're not a pedophile, you're an ephibophile. Because
exactly. Jay Sus, he said it's a situation you got to navigate carefully. No, it's fucking not. You simply block them. You simply blocked them and said, I'm sorry, considering your age, I cannot continue this conversation. Look me up in 5 years, 10 years. Whatever it is.
Ephebophilia is the attraction to teenagers aged 15 to 19. So then he'll go, no. Ephebophilia is the primary attraction to
there was a video leaked of him
I'm mostly attracted to
dude.
adults. I'm just a little bit attracted to children.
There are 15-year-old chicks that are like hot as fuck.
So therefore, I am not an ephebophile and you have slandered me yet again. Also, there's nothing inherently wrong with ephebophilia because 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds fall under the category of ephebophilia, and there's nothing wrong with being attracted to adults, so your normative position condemning ephebophilia in its entirety is already a flawed premise. And even if I was a pedophile, there's nothing wrong with being attracted to children. It's only bad if you act on that attraction. So therefore, you have slandered me in countless ways, and my community will now harass you for years. See how you've now had an exhausting 20-minute debate about labels instead of focusing on the fact that Destiny admitted to being attracted to some children and admitted to acting on that attraction by sending a picture of a child in a bikini to his friends? This is the debate bro way. Crush your opponent through pedantic arguments about semantics so you never have to actually take accountability for your actions. As far as we know, I don't think Destiny falls under the clinical definition of pedophile, but the colloquial definition of pedophile is someone who is attracted to children, and Destiny is at least somewhat attracted to children.
There are some 15, 16-year-old chicks that like look pretty fucking hot. Like I can't help that. Like some people mature fucking older.
Destiny.
I'm sorry, I can't get past the fact that Blue Microphones is sponsoring Destiny being like, yeah, some fucking 15-year-old chicks are hot. Does it sound good when I say that? Does it sound really good when I say that?
Another streamer who for having sex with a 14-year-old by saying, even if he did bang a 14-year-old, no, that's not what pedophile means. Go look it up. Seriously, if you don't understand the difference between being attracted to someone that happens to be young and being attracted to someone because they are young, you have absolutely no business whatsoever commenting on the issue, period. It makes you look uneducated. I really want to see someone use this argument in court. Your Honor, I didn't have sex with that baby because I'm attracted to babies. I had sex with that baby because it just so happened to be a really hot baby. Most babies are not hot, but every once in a while, one of those extra special babies rolls their stroller on past my goon cave, and I just can't help myself. But this does not make me a pedophile. You look really uneducated right now. You know what, Destiny? You can feel free to have your pedantic definition of pedophile that only applies to being specifically attracted to prepubescent, and I can say that I think you are a freak for saying as a 26-year-old that some 15-year-olds are hot as fuck, and for as a 23-year-old sharing around a picture of a 15-year-old in a bikini. Deal? The next child-related Destiny incident is when him and his friends, the Bro Squad, watched an 8-year-old boy shake his penis for them on a live stream.
What?
I shouldn't tell this because I'm gonna get fucking arrested. For Child Protective Services. I used to be part of this horrible thing called the Bro Squad, okay? Fucking me, if you remember that fucking Cheeks bitch, and fucking a couple other people that have never been on my stream before, were part of the Bro Squad, and what we would do is we would go around Justin TV streams, trolling the shit out of these people. And we went around from fucking channel to channel, like fucking around. Like it was just horrible shit. We went to this channel with this fucking like, this kid was like 8 years old.
Nothing hot about a kid, you're right.
Broing out with everybody in this chat. For whatever fucking reason, this kid decides to fucking take his pants off and fucking wiggle his 8-year-old dick on stream. I can't even believe it. Oh my fucking god. It was like, I didn't even know, like, we were on Skype, we were like, holy shit. Like, we had to do like a double take because we didn't even fucking know, like, what the fuck was on, like, we were looking at like an 8-year-old dick, like, on the fucking screen.
What the fuck,
His fucking brother, and his brother, we called him Captain Push-Ups, would like come in the room. And this guy was like fucking 14 years old, he had his shirt off, and he was like this, like watching this stream the entire time and shit. Oh my god.
Yeah.
As far as what
that one makes me mad. That one makes me like flat out furious considering my daughter's 10. Yeah, that, oh my god, dude. Fuck this guy, dude. He sucks so bad. Ugh. Please, iDubbbz, I will pay to be a part of Creator Clash 3. I will donate whatever it takes. Let me fight this man.
child to pull his pants down.
Not Ryan
But I
Beard,
still think it's
Destiny.
very bad that him and his bro squad didn't immediately click off of this live stream the second that this child exposed himself. If a child exposes themselves to you, I think you have a moral responsibility to immediately click. Bro squad thought it was really funny to sit and laugh while staring at an 8-year-old's penis. Next, a couple years later, Destiny planned to kill a kid. Apparently, this kid was DDoSing Destiny's website. DDoSing is when you overwhelm a website with fake internet traffic, causing it to shut down. And because Destiny's website was shut down, he was no longer able to make money from it.
Oh, I did troll the shit out of the DDoS kid. That's a guy, that's one of the people, like, legitimately, like, I was so, you have no, like, it's actually kind of scary, like, how close I was to getting people together to go down to his house and kill him and his family. Or it would have just been him and his father. Because I didn't know anything about it. Dude, that was some of the most fucked up shit in my entire life. I was so fucking close to doing it. But I was making so much money on Twitch, and I don't know if Nathan was involved in yet, but for whatever reason, I decided that the current life I had wasn't worth the risk of... Oh my god. Oh my god, I was so close to this fucking address. I had fucking streets mapped out and fucking you have no fucking idea. That's when I first started getting interest in like owning a weapon. I got a permit to own a gun and everything.
Destiny obviously never went through.
Wow, he's gonna go and shoot a kid? Well, a tough guy. Yeah, see, that's the only guy he could actually probably feel tough around as a young kid.
Through with killing this kid, but the fact that he legitimately planned to kill him is unhinged.
Were you really considering it? Yeah, of course.
It's actually kind of scary, like how close I was to getting people together to go down to his house and kill him and his family.
How old was the kid in relation to you? I think the kid was probably 16. I think I was 22.
Destiny has defended this to this day, saying that if someone is stopping you from making money, this justifies killing them, even if they're a child.
If you came outside every...
This is where I'm getting pissed. I've known Destiny's been a douchebag, but I never knew it was to this level.
Hires and he wouldn't stop and you call the police and nobody wanted to do anything despite having proof for it. You're like, well, I'm gonna have to attack this dude and maybe even kill him. Yeah, sure, go for it.
Obviously, I agree that someone maliciously taking away your primary source of income is incredibly bad, but I think there are a lot of other possible avenues you could explore before jumping to the nuclear option of shooting a child. As much as it obviously sucks to—
How did Destiny never get banned off of YouTube? I really just don't get it. YouTube, you've gotten more info from this one video of why this guy should not have a platform than anywhere else. Make Destiny go to Rumble, please. I would love that.
Lose your income. I think if you need to choose between killing a child in cold blood and losing your Twitch revenue, you're just gonna need to put the fries in the bag and get a new job. The next child-related Destiny incident is when he encouraged an infamous lolly or drawn CP artist to draw a picture of his 6-year-old child. This artist is a man named Shadman. You might recognize Shadman from the recent controversy with Ava Chris Tyson from Mr. Beast, who was a really big fan of Shadman's work. Shadman has a long history of drawing pornographic images of actual children, including Keemstar's daughter, and because Destiny was aware of this, he encouraged Shadman to draw a pornographic image of his 6-year-old son. This controversy started because Destiny had been insulting the YouTube animation community. In response, Shadman made this drawing of Destiny to make fun of him, so Destiny then responded to Shadman by tweeting, "Hey, at Shadbase, if drawing fan art of me is a tad uncomfortable, you could try drawing my son. He's only 6, so it should be easier for you." To try to be good faith to Destiny, this tweet was obviously a joke, and he didn't actually want Shadman to draw a picture of his son. However, I still think that goading a known CP artist into drawing CP of your own son is incredibly irresponsible. Because imagine if Shadman took him up on his request and did go ahead and make the drawing in the same way he had drawn Keemstar's daughter. Then Destiny's son would have had to deal with the fact that there would be drawn CP
I would never put my daughter in the line of fire like that.
Of him floating around the internet for the rest of his life. If there was a known child murderer and you decided to tweet at that child murderer, "Hey, how about you come murder my child, LOL?" I think we would all agree that that would be incredibly irresponsible, even if that was just a joke. In the same way, I think it's incredibly irresponsible to encourage a known CP artist to draw CP of your child, even if it's just a joke. Thankfully, Shadman did not end up drawing Destiny's child like he had drawn Keemstar's child, and Destiny got to have fun making his little joke.
What a great comeback.
Even though this joke could have come at the expense of his 6-year-old son's safety. Even though a lot of these situations involving children happened quite a while ago, I still think Destiny has been spreading harmful rhetoric around children even quite recently. A couple years ago, Destiny said that a 30-year-old randomly sexting a 14-year-old would not be grooming.
Let's say there's a person that's like 30 years old and tries to like randomly sext like 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds. That wouldn't be, I don't think that would be considered grooming.
So that clip
then what would that be
bad.
What the fuck would it be considered then?
Right? But we don't want to approach Destiny in bad faith or take him out of context, so let's try to understand the actual argument that Destiny is making.
That wouldn't be, I don't think that would be considered grooming. Now, let's say there's a person that's 30 years old and they're specifically seeking out like 14, 15-year-olds to kind of just like talk to them about their school life, figure out what their problems are, you know, be cool because you're old and you have experience, and then you kind of weasel in like sex. That's like grooming, right? That would be like grooming.
So Destiny's argument is that a 30-year-old randomly sexting a 14-year-old isn't grooming, but if a 30-year-old tries to weasel their way into a 14-year-old's life and slowly manipulate them into sexting them, this would would be grooming. But this argument goes against the definition of grooming. The definition of grooming is the action of attempting to form a relationship with a child or young person with the intention of sexually assaulting them or inducing them to commit an illegal act. Guess what, Destiny? Nowhere in that definition does it say that grooming has to be a slow process. Grooming is just forming a relationship with a child for the purpose of sex. A lot of times grooming is a slow process because they have to slowly break down the child's boundaries in order to get them to have a sexual relationship with them, but sometimes grooming can happen very quickly. For example, in situations where the child already has some established level of trust with the person who is grooming them. In this clip, Destiny is talking about influencers who sext their underage fans and saying that these influencers sexting their fans wouldn't necessarily be grooming because grooming is a slow process. The reason that influencers are often able to groom their fans so quickly is because their fans already have an established parasocial relationship with the influencer. If a teacher wants to groom a student, this usually happens more slowly because the teacher doesn't have a pre-established relationship with the student. But because influencers already have a parasocial relationship with their fans, grooming can occur much more quickly. Maybe Destiny's argument is that the very first time you sext a 14-year-old, this wouldn't be grooming yet because you haven't established a relationship with them yet, but this is still a stupid argument because in this context, randomly sexting a 14-year-old for the first time would be the first step in attempting to groom them. You're acting like everyone else is so stupid for not understanding grooming while you don't understand grooming. Destiny would claim that he just cares about definitional specificity, but the specific definitions you're promoting aren't even accurate. I'm not saying that Destiny is making this argument because he wants to groom children, but when you combine him saying that some 15-year-olds are hot as fuck, with him sharing around pictures of 15-year-olds in bikinis, with him saying that 30-year-olds sexting 14-year-olds isn't necessarily grooming, it starts to paint a very strange picture. Destiny also got really mad that people were labeling Drake a pedophile. He even had a debate about why it's totally fine for Millie Bobby Brown at 14 to be texting Drake about relationship advice.
When you say he's texting her and he wants to give her dating advice, what if she's the one that brought it up first? Should he say something like, I'm sorry, but it's inappropriate for me to talk to you about high school boys? Or what? Like, what?
Yeah. You do it all the time. When some young person comes up to you and starts saying some weird stuff, you just sit there with this 13-year-old and then you start having conversations extended about them about dating.
Yeah, I have before. What do you mean? No, would I tell if a young person came up to me and they were asking?
This changes the context of this now. Now that I got more awareness of what he's saying and why he's saying it, there should be zero reason why Drake is talking to Millie Bobby Brown about boys.
Asking me questions about some like boy problems or some shit? Yeah, I'd probably say, yeah, of course. What do you mean, a 35-year-old man? Of course I'm gonna have better advice for them than some fucking random high school person. Yeah, of course.
Wait.
If a 15-year-old girl came up to me and she's like, there's some weird shit going on with the boy in my high school, I'd say, oh no, don't talk to me, honey. Go ask another 15-year-old boy or ask your fucking mom and dad who are gonna tell you to never talk to any boys ever.
Well said, Master
Do you think you should talk to them about sex?
It depends on the context. I don't give a what do you mean? If a 15-year-old asks me and she's like, I think I'm gonna this guy at school unprotected, yeah, I'd probably say, bro, you're 15, don't destroy your life. Make sure you guys using protection. What the fuck? Why would I not say this?
Okay, and do you think that most parents finding out that you're talking to their kids about sex and giving them advice, do you think they would take it well?
I don't know. I don't give a they should be talking to their own kids about it.
So apparently Destiny has given children relationship advice in the past.
Oh, God.
Destiny is
Let's
famously
hope not.
really great at relationships, so I'm sure these children really appreciated his sage words of wisdom.
But if there's one thing that nobody would ever say about Destiny, is that he makes good personal life dating decisions.
Destiny also says that he thinks he would give better relationship advice than a child's parents, and that he would give a child sex advice even if this would upset the child's parents. Who cares if parents don't want you to talk to their kids about sex? Destiny understands your kids better than you do. Destiny, you're a rule utilitarian, right? You believe that we should establish moral rules based on what generally leads to the least amount of harm. But you don't think that it would be good to establish a general rule that it's not safe for 31-year-olds like Drake to be texting 14-year-olds like
We just texted each other the other day and he was like, I miss you so much. And I was like, I miss you more. Okay, getting weirder. He gives me advice about boys. God, I hope not. Millie Bobby Brown, run. Get the fuck away from Drake if you're not already. Certified lover boy, certified pedophile.
Millie Bobby Brown about their relationships. Of course, there can be hypothetical situations where this isn't harmful and the adult actually does have good intentions, but in general, I don't think it's safe for children to be having these sorts of private conversations with adults. And I think it is totally reasonable to side-eye Drake for having these sorts of conversations with Millie Bobby Brown, especially because he kissed a child on stage.
How old are you?
I can't go to jail yet.
Now, is Drake a pedophile? Well, like I said, he kissed a...
yeah, it's pretty evident right there. Now we know what Kendrick Lamar was talking about.
A child on stage, but Destiny would probably explain that this child was post-pubescent, not prepubescent, and kissing one child doesn't prove that he has a primary attraction to children, so therefore, we don't have enough evidence to label Drake a pedophile.
Already, he definitely
Can you
is.
see how exhausting this is? Some people actually enjoy to listen to this shit day in and day out on Destiny's stream. Maybe Destiny just really wants to show Drake good faith because Drake has dropped so many bangers over the years. Or maybe he's defending Drake because he sees himself in Drake because of his own personal relationships with young people. Enter Rose is Coming, Destiny's 19-year-old e-girl Discord.
Here we go.
A couple
This is
years
the stuff
ago,
we do
Destiny
know.
was simultaneously married to a woman named Melina while having an affair on Melina with a white nationalist woman named Lauren Southern and sexting this 19-year-old e-girl named Rose is Coming on the side. Destiny was,
by the way, Melina, you totally deserved better than him.
In an open marriage with Melina, but he still managed to have an affair with Melina because he didn't tell her about his relationship with Lauren Southern. And he also violated his wife's consent by sending her sex tapes to this 19-year-old e-girl without asking her.
Nothing has happened with consent.
I guess having an open relationship just wasn't enough for Destiny. Even though he was already free to sleep with other people, he still had to figure out some way to fuck over his wife. Anyway, while Destiny was sexting this 19-year-old, he asked her if she wanted to do age play, which is where you role play as being even younger. She was already 15 years younger than him, but you know, why not add on another 5 or 10 years for good measure? According to Destiny himself, he views sexting 19-year-olds as the same as sexting 15-year-olds.
When you're 19, you're a little kid, okay? Now, if you're 22, a 19-year-old's not a kid to you, okay? I'm 29. A 19-year-old might as well be a 15-year-old to me. It's all the fucking same, dude. Don't give me this fucking, just because of some legal age of consent, whatever bullshit, I have about as much in common with like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old fucking freshman in school as I would a fucking sophomore in high school. Any type of inclination towards any of those people is really fucking weird. If you live with your mom and dad still pay all of your bills, you're still a virgin, you've never been in a relationship, you don't go to school, you've never even before, you've never lived on your own, you're a child. You're very much a child.
So Destiny views 19-year-olds as little kids.
You're a little kid.
And says that being attracted to them is really fucking weird.
Really fucking weird.
Yet here he is 5 years later at age 34, sexting this 19-year-old, asking her if she wants to do age play with him, and sending her non-consensual sex tapes of his friends and wife. And honestly, it doesn't even matter what my opinion is of this. In Destiny's own words, he thinks this is really fucking weird.
Really fucking weird.
So, is Destiny a pedophile? I don't really give a fuck what you label him. I choose to label him a freak.
Certified pedophile. There, I said it. In the words of the great Kendrick Lamar, certified lover boy, certified pedophile.
Only freaks engage in the type of degenerate behavior that Destiny has engaged in. I don't give a fuck about semantic debates about the definition of pedophilia. If you send pictures of a 15-year-old in a bikini to your friends and talk about how hot they are, you are a freak.
Yep.
Let's finish out the video by talking about Destiny's treatment towards women in more recent years. A little while ago, Destiny admitted that he was psychologically abusive towards his ex-wife.
This is probably just going to be Melina venting about her relationship with me to Bob. Listen, okay? I've said it a million times. I'm a very fucking hard person to date. I work a fuck ton, and I'm very fucking cold. I have a really hard time dealing with people when they get emotional, okay? But if Melina starts crying or we're having an argument, I'll say, like, listen, I'm gonna go play fucking Minecraft. Like, come talk to me when you're done crying, because I can't sit here and listen to you cry. I'm wasting the few fucking minutes of free time I have in the day. I'm not gonna sit here and listen to you cry doing it. Like, so anybody that survives a relationship with me for more than like 6 months, okay, props to that person, because they're going through some severe fucking psychological abuse, all right? It's a fucking hard thing to deal with. I'm not joking.
Maybe Destiny's fans would claim that he was being hyperbolic here, and he wasn't actually admitting to being abusive, but here's his best friend Dan also saying that Destiny was really shitty towards his ex-wife.
I'll say this also. I think Steven was a fucking really shitty guy. I'm coming out here saying it right now. I don't think Steve would deny it either, but it's not good the way that he was.
Jeffrey
like, I talked to Melina a lot of times, and she was crying and miserable and everything else. And Steve would say, "What do you want me to say? I'm a selfish motherfucker. That's why I'm in the relationship that I'm in, the way that I do things that I'm in." And Melina like really was hurt by it. And I think like she was like, you know, what should I do? Should I leave? And I'll tell you this, I never was like, I was never like, no, you should stay and make things out. I told her multiple times, like, listen, if you feel.
Yeah, this guy, we've talked about him earlier in the stream. He seems like he's coping so hard for fucking Destiny.
Feel like this is an abusive relationship, get the fuck out of there immediately.
Melina herself has also accused Destiny of being psychologically abusive towards her.
I'm irritated by a couple things. One thing I'm irritated about is that my ex-wife has reached out to a ton of people. At least 5 mutual friends have alerted me. I have no idea how many are affected. Basically saying that I've lied about a ton of stuff and that I am abusive.
So you said it yourself, you dumb shit.
Destiny has said that he was psychologically abusive towards Melina. Melina has said that Destiny was psychologically abusive towards Melina. And Destiny's best friend Dan also seems to think that Destiny was psychologically abusive towards Melina. I wonder if maybe Destiny was psychologically abusive towards Melina.
It would appear that way.
As long as he's like, yep, I'm an abuser, deal with it.
Because they're going through some severe fucking psychological abuse, all right? It's a fucking hard thing to deal with. I'm not joking.
That he can just move on from this and sweep it under the rug, but I don't believe he should be allowed to do this. And I don't understand why any woman would ever want to associate with Destiny this. Destiny not only has a history of allegedly being abusive himself, he also has a history of surrounding himself with other abusive men. Years ago, the streamer Vosh was exposed by Destiny for sexually harassing a woman named Poppy.
Yeah, so the problem is that we've gotten these complaints for like, I think about a year.
Oh my god, fucking look at Vosh, dude. Just look at this guy. Just take it all in. He thinks he's got a deep voice. I'm Vosh. I like horses. In fact, I like horses so much.
Like really sexually aggressive from a variety of people.
Yes, yeah. I bet,
well,
Shannon.
No, the worst thing is that you engage in a repeatable...
Melina, if you ever watched this, you deserved better than Destiny.
Pattern of behavior where you try to be very sexually aggressive towards a lot of the women.
But I also think you deserve more than the weirdo that you're with now, though, too.
And in chat, in order to make them uncomfortable enough to send you pictures, and then if they don't, you either act very aggressive towards them, like by telling them that you can't continue conversations anymore, or you continue to sexually harass them until they either give in or block you or go crazy or whatever.
It hasn't, I mean, none of this has happened. That's an extrapolation that you can make based on Poppy.
But even after Destiny found out that Vosh had sexually harassed her, he still decided to be friends with him and platform him and help him start his career. And now, years later, because of Destiny's actions, all of us have had to endure learning about Vosh's horse fetish and his short stack goblin porn. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't look into it.
This is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to.
Later on, after Destiny's relationship...
Thank God Chud Logic got away from these fucking weirdos. It's a whole orbiting community of just the absolute worst people you can ever imagine.
Relationship with Vosh fell apart, Destiny decided to become friends with a racist named Mr. Girl. And Mr. Girl is not allegedly a racist, he is a racist.
For everybody who's wondering who Mr. Girl is, here we go.
He posted a video openly admitting to raping a woman.
A couple years ago, I matched with a woman on Tinder. I say woman because she was 46. Anyway, we got frozen yogurt. She came over. We got naked. I got naked. Then we both got naked. We started making out. Sex kind of makes me anxious, so I don't like a ton of foreplay. To me, it should be like tearing off a Band-Aid, right? I'm trying to be patient. Finally, I get her on top of me. I put my dick in place, like right at her vagina, and I'm like, all right, let's do this. She holds perfectly still and says, I'm not ready. Clear as day, no mistaking her meaning, she doesn't consent. But she has this look in her eye, like she's daring me to just push it in. Like I'm some kind of pussy if I don't. I could have been imagining that, but I grabbed her shoulders and pushed her down onto my dick.
I fucked her!
Did she like that I did that? I think so. She probably had mixed feelings about it. Was it rape? Yes, I guess. I don't know. She told me not to, and I did it anyway. That makes it rape.
I don't know what went through Mr. Girl's head that he thought it was a good idea to openly admit to raping someone on the internet, but...
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. So sorry I'm exposing y'all to this.
That's Mr. Girl for you. Mr. Girl is most well known for his review of the movie Cuties, where he said
here we go, Jason.
Girls in that movie hot.
And it juxtaposes these amazing scenes where it's like you'll see the girls playing on a bed where they're stuffing gummy bears in their mouths and they're just totally children, and then you'll see them shaking their booties on this stairway as they make this this viral video, and they're pretty hot.
10 years old is 5 years too young for Destiny's taste, but he decided to become friends with Mr. Girl anyway. Mr. Girl also released a bunch of videos where he was like emotionally abusing his girlfriend on camera. After they had been friends for a while, Destiny and Mr. Girl got into some drama because Destiny had banned Mr. Girl from Destiny's subreddit because Mr. Girl was criticizing Destiny for the way that he had defended Nick Fuentes. And then a few months after this, Mr. Girl released a report called the Destiny Report, where he outlined all of the ways that he believes Destiny is an abuser. Most people ignored this report because they didn't really care to listen to a potential abusive pedophile rapist give his opinions on why he thinks Destiny is abusive. The report was also over 100,000 words long, and it was terribly formatted, and honestly, no one had time to read all that shit. And while I
wish I could one by one go and just take each one of these guys, and we're gonna fight with these boxing gloves. And if I win, you're no longer allowed on the internet.
I personally think that Mr. Girl is a disgusting weirdo.
It seems so.
I do think he made a couple
Shannon.
decent points in his report. Mr. Girl's main perspective is that he believes Destiny has a pattern of being abusive towards the women in his orbit. And now that we've seen evidence that Destiny has been sharing sex tapes of his orbiters and his ex-wife behind their back without their consent, I think this adds some credence to the idea that there might be a pattern of abuse happening here. In my opinion, Destiny kind of reminds me of the character of Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I said this well before this guy did, okay? Don't take it. I called it the Destiny system. The Destiny system. Demonstrate value, engage physically, nurture dependence. Oh my God.
If Dennis was shorter and scrawnier and more annoying.
I didn't know I was being filmed. If you're in my room, you're always being filmed.
You are.
He does.
True.
He does.
It's just
Always
kind of creepy.
In case you haven't seen the show, the character Dennis is known for being a psychopath who's incredibly good at manipulating women.
Oh, look, I'm not narcissistic. That's good. I told you guys I was humble. We're a bit Machiavellian, or a bit not psychotic. Psychopath, a bit psychopathic. That's what I'm looking for.
The most famous clip of Dennis is where he explains that if you take a woman out on a boat with you, she won't say no to having sex with you because of the implication.
The whole purpose of buying the boat in the first place was to get the ladies nice and tipsy topside, so we can take them to a nice, comfortable place below deck, and they can't refuse because of the implication.
Oh, okay. You had me going there for the first part. The second half it kind of threw me.
It makes me so sad because this show is so funny that it almost makes this part unfunny because of how realistic this is to who Destiny is as a person.
Out in the middle of nowhere with some dude she barely knows. She looks around her. What does she see? Nothing but open ocean. There's nowhere for me to run. What am I gonna do? Say no? Okay, that seems really dark now. No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think
yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is that she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
Well, in 2020, Destiny explains that he doesn't think it would be good for someone who has a large online platform to be sexting the women who he has as guests on his show because of the implication.
Let's say that I run like a really big podcast. I get 30,000 viewers. Let's say that I have a podcast. I got 30,000 viewers. Let's say that there's a girl that messages me. We talked a little bit and she really wants to be on. And I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, you really want to come on a podcast, blah, blah, blah. I could probably start sexting her and she'll probably give in and send me nudes and shit because she doesn't want to lose that opportunity. She might not actually want to. She might not be into it really at all. But if I start propositioning her, if she says no to me, she might worry like, fuck, like if I say no to this guy, like I'm not going to make it on that podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then are you wrong for asking in that case? Even though you saw it?
I think it is wrong. Yeah, I don't think you should.
However, as we now know, Destiny
because of the implication
has a long history of doing this exact thing to the women who are guests on his show.
I don't like the idea that we're normalizing, someone bringing in a bunch of small content creators that are women, fucking them, right? And then when that fallout inevitably happens, like just cast them away. Like it's a really weird dynamic. I work with women and I'm happy with the fact that it's professional. And that needs to be a standard that we set for more people because I hate the idea that I just show up on screen with a woman and it's automatically sex. But can I really be mad at an audience for thinking that when I hang out with Steven, who literally fucks pretty much everybody he works with?
It is possible that like you are like a very like mature person, and even if they turn you down, you're so cool with them being on your podcast. Like there are some people like that, but like not everybody, no one knows. That's the problem. Nobody can ever know that if you're actually that kind of person. That's why it's like a very hazy area where you can't really consent in that situation. You don't really know.
So on the one hand, he is saying that you shouldn't
missed the
sex
first
with women
half,
who are
so
guests
it's
on your
good.
show because they can't fully consent, and on the other hand, he is sexting with most of the women who are guests on his show and sharing around their sex tapes without their consent. A woman named Lav came forward and said that she felt pressured to send Destiny feet pics in exchange for being a guest on his stream.
At least in my case, I was so desperate to get out of sex work and I told him that, and he said, why don't you stream with me? This can open up an avenue where like you don't have to do what you hate to do. And I'm a political streamer, you can get into politics, like fully extending himself to me in a way that was like very friendly, and then it turned into something like, oh, right after that conversation he was like, oh, by the way, I don't see any feet on your profile, he, like immediately after.
Yeah, because he's a fucking creep.
Apparently, after she sent him feet pics, he said, welcome to the Orbiters Club, implying that sending her feet pics is what will give her the chance to be one of his Orbiters. Now, Destiny claims that this was a completely ironic joke, and it wasn't meant to be taken seriously whatsoever, but if Destiny himself has said that he shouldn't be sexting his Orbiters because of the implication, and then he sexts his Orbiters and then says, welcome to the Orbiter Club, I am struggling to see how this is a joke. And even if it was intended as a joke, like Destiny explained in this previous clip, you shouldn't be making jokes like this because the person on the receiving end might not understand that you're joking. It seems strange to me.
I bet you if I was in Destiny's Orbiter Club, he would not message me about my feet, which would be a loss for him because they're gorgeous.
That Destiny had this incredibly nuanced view of consent a couple years ago, but then once he wanted to start sexting people, all of these rules that he set for himself went out the window.
Now, again, there are exceptions. Maybe you're friends with this person for 10 years or some shit, and you guys have like some, like, there could be like very niche. I don't want to say like every single time, but like as a blanket rule, if you even have to stop and think about this, you should just not do it. It's just it's a bad idea.
Later on, Lav accused Destiny of being the Harvey Weinstein of YouTube. She felt like Destiny had a pattern of manipulating the women in his orbit into doing sexual favors for him, and because she felt like it was emotionally abusive that every woman who came on Destiny's stream would inevitably be flooded with hate comments on his subreddit, which Destiny would refuse to take down. If you come onto Destiny's stream as a woman, you can be pretty safe to assume that you are going to get a bunch of hate comments on Destiny's subreddit. But according to Destiny's community, it's not because they hate women, it's just because these particular women all happen to be too stupid to debate their daddy Destiny. One time, Destiny's head moderator of his subreddit named Forethought sent one of his female orbiters the message, "Kelly Jean, stop pretending like you're hurt by sexism. Your greatest aspiration was being an esports victim. Holy fuck, no wonder you wish you got raped. You've got literally nothing going on to be doing this at 40. After seeing these messages, Destiny refused to remove Forethought as a moderator of his subreddit.
But the whole idea is that if there's no wrong way to treat Kelly Jean or whatever, if that's her mentality when it comes to her, who's to say that doesn't expand to other people?
Like, can we just start, why is it okay to do whatever you want
to Kelly Jean?
Oh yeah,
you have to ask Destiny that.
I mean, it's Kelly Jean.
That's not that.
Yeah, but if you have that mentality, Destiny, then yeah, he's gonna copy it, isn't he?
I wonder why women don't always feel comfortable on Destiny's subreddit.
Yes, please share with the world.
At the time, Destiny and his community absolutely tore Lav to shreds because they didn't think that she had enough evidence to substantiate the claim.
Although, if it's some strange wart feet, they're not mine.
He was the Harvey Weinstein of YouTube. One time when Lav was in the hospital, Destiny sent to his public chat, like, I wish this person would just kill themselves already or fuck off from my shit forever. Destiny even one time shared with his public chat that there was a Kiwi Farms thread being made about Lav. In case you don't know, Kiwi Farms is a message board that is famous for doxing and harassing people they don't like. So by sending Destiny's community to her Kiwi Farms page,
I'm sorry I'm
Destiny
showing you
was
them, good soul.
essentially doxing her.
But
to be clear, I'm not...
It's important to know this stuff so that if you ever are asked about someone, you can make the correct... You're informed enough to know who you can hang your hat on and who you can't. Tonight we've picked up on Willie Mack getting a W, Destiny taking all the L's, Ryan Beard starting off with a W. He's still doing well.
Not trying to 100% defend Lav here. I think that some of the negative comments about her debating were accurate. I don't think she's a particularly good debater. I also don't think that she necessarily had enough evidence to back up the claim that Destiny is the Harvey Weinstein of YouTube. Although these days I do think there is a lot more evidence pointing to that being the case. She also one time claimed that Hassan had slept with a 17-year-old, which she didn't have any evidence to back up, and then Hassan ended up tearing her to shreds for that. And since then, she has become a TERF who says a bunch of racist and transphobic shit on Twitter. However, I do still think that the treatment she endured from Destiny's community was insane. Being a bad person does not disqualify you from being abused. And if a woman feels like she's being abused by you and your community, I don't think a good way to prove that you're actually not abusive is by telling her to kill herself and doxing her. Destiny's community wrote off Lav as mentally unstable and insane, and because both her and Mr. Girl were widely hated by most people on the internet, most people ignored their allegations that Destiny was abusive. Destiny has a long history of bringing mentally ill women onto his stream to the point where it's a meme in his community that all of the women on Destiny's stream have BPD. Destiny himself has said that he's most attracted to women who he considers mentally unstable.
This dude really has a penchant for going after mentally ill women, okay? Women with like severe...
Well, this makes sense because I've heard it from ABBA before.
Depression, and a lot of them got like self-diagnosed BPD or some bullshit. Like, he just likes that. I don't know. To me, the fact that there's a pattern with a lot of these girls is a bit weird.
But
yeah, but it's because the crazier they are mentally, the wilder they are in the sack. That's essentially the gist.
Question is, does Destiny just happen to attract a bunch of mentally unstable women to his stream, or does he purposefully attract mentally unstable women because he knows they are more easy to abuse? Another mentally ill woman that Destiny had a long conflict with was a woman named Anna. Just like with Lav, Destiny also encouraged his community to go to Anna's Kiwi Farms thread, and he encouraged them to post in her thread.
Oh, okay. Also, heads up. This is my only non-media blackout time, okay? This is my only non-media blackout time. We're immediately going back to this, okay? Somebody on Kiwi Farms has made a thread of Anna. So if you are obsessed with Anna and you want to talk about her all the time, you, chatter, you can actually go to Kiwi Farms and you can go and post all you want, read all you want, go there, post about it, talk about it. People put a lot of effort into categorizing and archiving everything. There you go, okay?
And in the thread about Anna that Destiny encouraged his fans to go message, they doxed Anna. And it was later revealed that at this time, Destiny was secretly in an ongoing sexual relationship with Anna.
So you acknowledge that you've been sexting with her for a year?
Yeah, we've had on and off, sure.
In response to this, Anna texted Destiny, "You literally ruined my fucking life. You just doxed me on your stream. Fuck you. You put me in danger." And Destiny responded to this by saying, "You're doing it to yourself and you're going to keep doing it to yourself." This is one of the most insane things I have ever seen in my
And from what I understand, she's still friendly towards him.
My entire life. Choosing to dox a woman you are actively sexting with just because she pissed you off. I guess if you want to live life by Destiny's rules, if your wife or girlfriend or friends with benefits ever pisses you off, why not just dox her to hundreds of thousands of people? I also want to be clear that I'm not defending Anna. Anna also has a long history of harassing Steven, which is obviously not good, but Destiny also treated Anna like garbage. He not only doxed her, but he also threatened to leak her nudes when she threatened to leak sext messages between the two of them to prove that Destiny had been lying about her.
So do you think that leaking sexting and leaking nudes is proportional, or do you think it's a proportional response in the way that you're reacting to that?
I think it's about proportional. Yeah. Thanks.
No, it's not proportional.
You don't think that she has more to lose in that scenario? Like, you think that people were going...
Oh, I mean, she could have more to lose, but I just don't see the huge difference between like sex and nudes. Like, you're leaking like personal like sex.
Well, one, because one is text, and then the other is an actual fucking image of your body. You absolute dipshit.
Actual shit that somebody sent you and like trusted you with. In my opinion, this is like one of the biggest forms of like weird like backstabbing shit that you can do. It's like one of the worst things a person can do is like leaking like private sexual shit like that.
I love you, Tom.
Looking back at Destiny's streams from over the years, I found at least 20 different women who had allegedly had some sort of sexual relationship with Destiny at some point, and I found at least 15 different previous female orbiters who now all hate Destiny's guts, and Destiny now labels them as crazy. The fact that Destiny has had sex with a bunch of his orbiters and now a bunch...
Leaking text conversation between you and someone else, not even close to someone seeing a physical image of you in your birthday suit. Not even close.
Of them hate him doesn't necessarily prove abuse, but what I do know is that Destiny is not living by the standard he expects other people to live by. Again, he said himself that you should not sext people who are guests on your platform because they might not be able to fully consent because of the implication.
I think it is wrong. Yeah, I don't think you should.
And at the very least, he has totally and utterly failed at living up to this standard of conduct that he expects other people to live by. I think we would need more evidence to concretely prove that Destiny's stream really is this system of abuse, but all I know is that there are at least 4 alleged victims and a whole host of other women who absolutely hate Destiny's guts, so I would recommend that women should stay as far away from Destiny's community as possible.
If you know that the people you're going to be involved with are only short-term partners, and you constantly see the after effect of most of your hookups and your interactions leaving a trail of broken hearts and disappointed people, that's a moral failing.
All right, let's recap.
Unfortunately, though, like, people aren't going to listen to this. People aren't going to heed the warning. Every girl's going to think that she could fix them. It's just the tale as old as time. There's going to be a handful of girls somewhere that are going to be attracted by the bad boy look at him.
All of Destiny's treatment towards women. Destiny sexually assaulted a woman. Destiny has a long history of sharing women's nudes and sex tapes without their consent. Destiny allegedly recorded a woman having sex with him without her consent. And in his messages to his Discord kitten, Rose is Coming, he sent her audio recordings of men that he had slept with from Grindr and said, "I went out and sucked a guy off a few nights ago and recorded the
Here you go, Blue Jay.
audio. It's really scuffed in my pocket, LOL. Did I ever send it to you?" If he was recording the audio from his pocket, it sure doesn't sound like that audio was recorded consensually, does it? Maybe he did ask if he could record him, but then...
You know what's funny, too? I commented about this when this first came out, saying that he was non-consensually recording people, and people were like, he's gonna fucking sue you, dude. This guy's begging to be sued. Kiss my ass. No, I wasn't. I heard it. I saw it for what it was.
He put the phone back in his pocket where the audio would sound terrible for some reason, but I highly, highly, highly doubt that. And if he was recording men from Grindr without their knowledge, it's also very easy to believe that he was recording Cherry without their knowledge. He has a history of calling 15-year-olds.
I've stumbled across some of the leaked material, and in one of them, it's him and his wife, and he starts recording without his wife even ready, and then he's just like, what if I told you I was already recording? It's like you could tell the guy's got an itchy trigger finger to pull that fucking record button. Yeah, I know I'm giving away the game, but, you know, I do research. And sometimes I just want to see intent.
Attractive and sharing pictures of them in bikinis.
It was censored, though.
Has a long history of getting very mad at women when they post about their sexual assaults on social media. He has allegedly abused at least one of his female orbiters and was psychologically abusive towards his ex-wife. And he also admitted to choking out another one of his exes multiple times. However, he claims that this was done in self-defense.
Because you better fucking believe I had to fucking choke her out a few fucking times.
Finally, Destiny has a history of doxing and threatening to leak the nudes of women that get on his bad side. I find this incredibly ironic because in his Keffels manifesto, he says that progressives believe there's no such thing as bad tactics, only bad targets.
And what comes of the belief that there are no bad tactics, only bad targets?
Well, if you ask me, doxing women and threatening to leak their nudes is the definition of bad tactics that you should not be doing, even if you think that woman is a valid target.
It sucks because this guy's trying to take this from a very logical standpoint, but it's like you're talking about Destiny, and most people already knew a lot of this shit. I didn't know to the extent some of this stuff, but are we really expecting Destiny to change? Are we expecting anybody to really care? The people who have already committed themselves to Destiny's orbit aren't going anywhere, dude. They're going to stay there and ride that wave until it's flatlined.
If you add up all of these allegations, I think it's time to consider that maybe Destiny is just not a good fucking person.
Soul.
Maybe he's your typical male feminist and all of the liberal bullshit that he spews on his platform is just him trying to get into women's pants. Before it had been publicly exposed that Destiny had shared Pixie.
I wish I didn't have to dive into this type of person, but unfortunately, like, it's the reality of the situation. We cover really disgusting types of people on here. This is how we learn what to avoid and how to share with our kids. Somebody somewhere is going to be able to watch this stream and, oh man, Destiny's such a smart political streamer. And then you could be like, oh, is he? Did you know this about him? Did you know this about him? Did you know this about him? And if that person didn't know, then you're going to be able to educate them on who he really is. And then there you go. My job's done here.
See sex tapes.
I don't care about the wider internet, right? Because I don't owe them anything. But to you guys who show up every single stream, it's important to me that you guys know what the deal is when it comes to these idiots. And I want you guys to know who is someone who you can have faith in and people who you cannot and who you should avoid like the plague.
Without her consent. In private, he acknowledged that he had severely, at the very least psychologically, damaged her. Once Pixie came out with her allegations publicly and announced that she was planning to sue Destiny, he went back to his old defensive ways and took accountability. He posted to his subreddit, legal arc beginning in mysterious ways, such wow, which is the most millennial cringe way possible to respond to allegations of sex crimes. In this post, he never takes direct accountability sex tapes with Rose's coming without her consent, and instead he focuses on how he's a victim too because his nudes were also leaked by the hacker that apparently hacked Rose is coming. Obviously, Destiny is also a victim in this situation, but I struggle to find empathy for him because he refuses to take accountability for sharing the sex tapes non-consensually in the first place, which led to this entire mess. He also talks about how Pixie was asking him for a large amount of money because she was trying to teach him a lesson, and I don't necessarily see anything wrong with her wanting to teach Destiny a lesson. Maybe he needs to be taught a lesson.
He does.
Pixie made the point that unless there are some real consequences to Destiny for doing this, he'll probably just do it again in the future, which
I hope that you guys know not to do this in the first place, but it's an observation of the human condition and just the types of people that you could come across in your time out in the world. Because I feel like the majority of us are good, honest people, but sometimes we give people the benefit of the doubt because we are that way, and some people just don't deserve that benefit of the doubt. I don't want anybody in my community getting fucked over by some leech.
Which I agree with. Destiny later sent to his public chat, Pixie and the people behind her just want money. Yet this is a blatant lie,
and I want you guys protected
clear
first
to
and
Steven
foremost.
that she would be willing to donate the money he gave her to charity. So just like usual, Destiny is attempting to smear his victim in order to silence her, even though in my opinion, Pixie has done absolutely nothing wrong. And I think this shows incredible moral character on Pixie's part that she's even willing to donate this money to charity because I don't think she has any obligation.
I feel like Pixie is an amazing person and has been handling this really, really well. And I said it in the beginning and I'll say it again. She's blamed herself for this, and I don't feel like this is her fault at all. This is 100% on Destiny. Destiny took advantage of the girl. A lot of people can talk about how they've had sexually adventurous moments of their life where they're just trying something new to keep things interesting. That's not Pixie's fault at all. I could never find a way to blame Pixie for this. It's about learning through others' experience and mistakes and learning how to tell red flags. Yes, Blue Jay, thank you. You summed it up perfectly. Too kind and trusting, learning more every day. Yeah, same, DSB. I had to learn that the hard way too. Master Toothpick says they will have to deal with our army, bro. Yeah, we're more of a platoon. We're a platoon. We don't got an army yet, but we got a nice platoon. We got a SEAL team.
Obligation to do this. But even with Pixie being basically the quote-unquote perfect victim, Destiny still decides to smear her. My favorite sentence from this post is when Destiny says, I have been trying to move on from covering drama content as it has had an increasingly negative impact on those in my life. Bitch, you loved covering drama content when it was other people's heads on the chopping block,
absolutely.
But now you want to stop covering drama once your head is on the chopping block. After this, Destiny sent some messages to his chat that were even more defensive. I have never done anything maliciously, as any of the fucking insane allegations say, that's fucking retarded. My only crime was being too much of a gooner in 2023 and earlier, 100% sure. Though again, I can't say anything specifically because everyone wants to come at me in court now, I guess. When he says that he didn't do anything maliciously, I think he means that he didn't intend for Pixie's nudes to ever get leaked to the public, but I would argue that non-consensually sending her sex tapes in the first place was malicious in and of itself. And again, I think Destiny would agree with me that sharing the nudes in and of itself is malicious because he said that when Bob 7 allegedly did the same thing, this should be life-destroying.
But I do believe that these are relatively life-destroying revelations.
And you are not fucking...
Yep. There we go. By his own admission, when the judge asks you, what should the man guilty of this crime be committed to? Life.
Stupid, Destiny. You know that if you're sending around sex tapes to random 19-year-old e-girls, eventually something is going to get leaked.
You know, actually, one of the craziest parts about this whole story is the fact that Destiny trusted a 19-year-old Discord lady, okay, named Rose is Coming, with sex tapes of other people in his life.
There you go.
Nick, if that's not compromised judgment, I don't know what the fuck is, okay?
Also, your only crime is being too much of a gooner? Destiny's just a little bit of a goofy gooner. It's not like he committed any serious sex crimes. He's just a little gooner goblin. Look at my gooner goblin over there in the corner gooning. As usual, every single thing that Destiny says is an attempt to downplay, and refuse fucking accountability. Then Destiny sent this to his chat. Bro, if I need to go on the sex offender list, I'm taking like 20 other streamers with me, okay? Again, trying to deflect from taking responsibility by saying that a bunch of other streamers have done the same shit. If other streamers have done the same shit, then yeah, maybe they should be on the sex offender registry. Recently, another clip of Destiny resurfaced where he talked about how he knew that a bunch of different streamers had committed sex crimes against children, but he just didn't care to expose any of them.
Like, everybody's gotten pics and more from underage chicks, depending on what you've heard in different communities. No, let me finish. In the esports community, okay? Everybody has been involved in that shit, okay? And there have been people that have gone way farther than that.
Do you know people in the esports community?
But I'm not going down that road. There's tons of rumors.
No, wait a minute. If you're saying you have knowledge of a crime and you're not willing to bring it forward.
Well, people talk about it, but like I don't have the means to go acquire the evidence to name names and name victims.
Break the Dorito gate right now, Destiny. Come on.
This is not my job. Listen, okay, I'm gonna be frank. I'm not gonna suicide my fucking career to go on some fucking vendetta against a bunch of fucking video game guys, okay? This is not my life.
But now that his head is on the chopping block, I guess maybe he'll finally expose these abusers that he's been covering for years. And the last thing that Destiny has posted at the time of this recording was an absolutely hilarious meme on Twitter where he said, Korean barbecue is a little overrated, but I've always loved the short rib at this place. And it's a picture of a Korean restaurant called Goon Barbecue. Again, implying that he's just too much of a gooner because gooner sounds a lot better than sex criminal. He is choosing to be his same old self, making jokes instead of taking accountability. This motherfucker has the absolute gall to release an entire manifesto about how Keffels needs to take accountability for her actions, but then once he's in shit, he takes absolutely no fucking accountability for his actions.
He just runs. He's a little baby. He's a little cuckold baby running. Destiny will always run because he's a scared little child. He'll always be. If you don't think I'm right, come say something to me about it, son.
Like, is this dude an actual fucking...
I love that fucking picture. Oh my god, I want to use that for the thumbnail of this. There, let me just grab a quick little picture here. There you go. Say cheese. There you go.
Baby, are you a child? In what fucking world is this the right way to respond to the fact that you violated one of your friends and, in your own words, severely psychologically damaged her? Never in a million years could I imagine being a soulless, heartless piece of shit like this who treats my best friends like actual human garbage. And for you to get up on your high horse and act like you're the moral police of the universe who has any place to judge other people while acting like this is fucking insane.
You know, with this whole situation, I don't think Steven shared this because he thought it was okay to share. I personally believe, this is my theory, that he shared this because he just didn't care and he didn't think that the other person would ever find out. And that to me is almost worse. Because it shows that you don't care about the people you slept with and who shared that.
That picture was followed up with, I need milk.
With you and recorded it. And it shows to me that if you are going to be able to avoid the consequences of it, you'll say and do things behind closed doors that are just unbecoming. And if I'm your friend and I see you do that to your other people that you slept with and you call friends, then I can only imagine that even for me, I might not be safe and I can't trust you. And what I see is another more failing where it's like, when no one's watching, you're not doing the right thing. You can massage it however you want. It's a shitty thing to share a sex tape, but it's not the worst thing. I'm sorry. That's fucking garbage behavior, okay? It just is. Call it a spade. It's garbage behavior. Don't mush it over because you like your favorite streamer. Don't mush it over because you think he's important politically. It's garbage behavior.
Right before uploading this video, another woman named Stasia just came out with allegations that Destiny shared explicit material of her without her consent.
My official stance is, as stuff came out, I learned that my trust was egregious, violated, and that a lot of private stuff, info, was in fact sent to multiple people without me being aware of having either consented. I can't go into more detail than that.
Consent. And a woman named Denims just came out with an allegation that
Oh shit, Denims? Really? I mean, Denims is hot, but she's fucking insane. Denims is now the 4th woman to come forward to accuse Destiny of illegally recording her without her consent. She says that when she refused to have sex with him, he weaponized the illegal voice recordings as part of a smear campaign to silence her. Jesus.
Destiny had recorded her without her knowledge. This recording was non-sexual, but apparently it's illegal to record people without their knowledge in that state. Destiny chose—
Oh, shut the fuck up, Denims. Get out of here.
To ignore Stasia's allegations for some reason, but in response to Denim's allegations, he sent messages to his public chat threatening to leak the recordings of her in an attempt to silence her, showing that he is still engaging in the exact same behavior as always. So now we have 4 different women who Destiny allegedly shared nudes of without their consent, 1 woman that Destiny sexually assaulted, 1 woman who felt pressured into sending Destiny feet pics, 1 woman who Destiny allegedly recorded sexually without her knowledge, 2 men on Grindr who Destiny allegedly recorded sexually without their knowledge, and 1 woman who was recorded non-sexually without her knowledge, for a grand total of 10 different victims that we know of so far. And this is of course not including the 15-year-old girl that Destiny shared bikini pictures of, or the 8-year-old boy whose penis Destiny stared.
Oh, Jesus. When he says it like that, when he says it out like that, wow. Like, wow, dude.
When will Destiny's community, DGG, wake the fuck up and realize that Destiny is just not a good person?
They're
I know
not.
that I said
They
that
never
I wouldn't
will.
focus on my personal beef with Destiny in this
will.
video, but I wanted to just point out one thing. I found it really funny that in his Vosh manifesto, he cries about how people online have attacked him for identifying as non-binary in the past.
Many have attacked me in the past for identifying as a non-binary. I no longer identify this way, even though I've considered different sexual or gender identities and discussed it at length at various points in my stream.
Destiny and his community have been harassing me for years about identifying as non-binary. He said that he doesn't think my identity is real, and he tweeted that I'm faking being trans for clout, and—
Okay, this makes a lot more sense. This makes a whole fucking lot more sense why he looks like this then. Or he, she. Oh, fuck. I'm so screwed now. What is it, guys? Hang on, we're gonna flip. Let's flip a coin real quick. If it lands on the camera cap logo up, it's a boy. If it lands on camera cap logo down, it's a girl. All right, she's doing a great job.
And I've had a bunch of his fans come and make fun of me anytime that I post about being non-binary, which made me feel like I had to go back into—
Yeah, JSauce just, whatever respect JSauce had is gone now. You were doing so well, Beard. You were doing so well. Why'd you have to go and throw in that craziness? Craziness. But either way, JSauce, if you're really out, thank you for hanging out.
The closet at one point. But
We're
when
almost
people
done.
attack
We're
Destiny
almost
for
done.
being non-binary,
Many have attacked me in the past for identifying as a non-binary.
it really hurts his feelings. This is just another example of Destiny being a hypocrite.
This guy definitely does not fuck. I mean, we could be very clear about that now. If we had any doubts whether or not this guy fucks, it's over. Or this girl fucks, or they fucks. They do not fuck.
Little bitch who cries when people are mean to him and then turns around and does that exact same shit to other people. If you want to be an asshole to non-binary people, be an asshole to non-binary people. But then don't be a weaselly little bitch who turns around and cries when people are an asshole to you about being non-binary.
Yeah, the suit was so cool, and now you ruined it. We'll never be able to be cool now.
Destiny is the perfect example of rules for thee, but
I really don't care, honestly. If you want to be non-binary, I guess do your thing. Just, don't expect me to get your shit right all the time, all right? For all you people who are going to watch this and go, I was really digging this. I was really vibing this until you misgendered Baird. Suck it, first off, okay? Because I'm a man, and I own that shit.
not for me. He says Bob Seven should have his life destroyed for sharing nudes without consent.
I'm not running around screen sharing people's nudes.
Then he shares nudes without consent. He criticizes Keppels for being a bully while he's the biggest fucking bully on the internet. He cries about how people on the internet have doxed him, and then he turns around and doxes a woman.
With that said, though, this is a great video. Like, really got a lot of good information in here, for sure. Man, so close to being a Total Chad.
Who he is secretly in an active sexual relationship with. He says it's not good to sext women who are on large streams.
I think it is wrong. Yeah, I don't think you should.
And then he turns around and sexts every single fucking woman on his large stream. He says it's super weird to sext 19-year-olds because they're basically children.
You're a little kid.
And then he fucking sexts a 19-year-old. He says we need to hold Keffels responsible for her actions, and then he takes
with a guy with the last name Beard, why would you abandon your male side, man?
Fucking responsibility for his actions. My worst crime was being too much of a gooner. If you go back and rewatch this entire video, do you agree with Destiny that his worst crime is just being too much of a gooner? Destiny, you are not too much of a gooner, you are a sex criminal. To this day, Destiny—
That's like somebody who's a rapist being like, sorry guys, I just goon way too hard for the good of mankind, I guess. It's like, no, you're just dangerous to be around.
Still refusing to fully take accountability for his actions, as he has done through every single fucking step of his career. According to Destiny, he really hates weasels. He even has a weasel emote that people spam in his chat whenever someone is trying to weasel their way out of an argument or is refusing to take accountability for their actions.
That's why we stick to beavers here, guys, right? That's why we do the beaver.
Well, Destiny, I think you should get this emote tattooed on your fucking forehead. You are a weak, pathetic little weasel, and I hope that everyone has finally opened their eyes to how much of a wriggling little weasel you always have been. I hope that after this, you take a long look in the mirror and you realize that you actually have a lot more in common with Keffels than you would ever care to admit to yourself. You have both lied to and scammed your audience, you are both massive bullies, you both aren't afraid to use harmful tactics to get what you want, and most of all, you both have a pathological need to avoid ever taking accountability. So from now on, I shall be referring to you as Keffelsdeny. How's that for a nuke, buddy? Anything else? Really quick before the video.
I'm sorry. I think that my Jeffrey Destiny is so much better. Depthstiny. That's it. Jeffrey Depthstiny. That was a much better thing than Keffelsdeny. Keffelsdeny doesn't even rhyme, bro. It doesn't even roll off the tongue.
Video ends. I've linked the fundraiser for Pixie to sue Destiny down below. If you would consider donating to that, I would appreciate it so much. If this lawsuit is successful, maybe this is finally an opportunity for Destiny to be held accountable for his actions. I've also linked accounts for Pixie, Cherry, Lav, and Melina down below and recommend you give them a follow. I think in situations like these, victims can end up being kind of just used as ammo for different people to fling shit at each other, and these victims can end up being collateral damage. So it would be super nice if you could go show them some love after all of the shit that they've had to endure from Destiny and his community. I also wanted to let you know that I got Pixie and Cherry and Lav's blessing to make this video, and I really hope that I approach things in a way that they will approve of. I know that I did some shit flinging in this video because I really don't like Destiny, but I hope that I approach things with nuance, understanding, and empathy for the victims. Also, in a little over a month, I have a massive 3-hour-long project that I've been working on for the last 6 months or so coming out. I think this is going to be the last traditional commentary video that I make on this channel. If you want to see more like short form commentary videos, go check out my other channel, which is also linked in the description. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to see that massive project that I've been working on. All right, I'll see you then.
Man, what a wild ride. That was a wild ride, guys. Do you guys like this? You like this? Miss Lately got me this, the on air, because I'm on air. When that is lit up, I am streaming or recording a video. Much love to you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out.